what it says. What's up, guys? Luke's Points and Miles, and to my side here, my beautiful co-host, Stan, the Credit Frog. He's been away from the internet for a couple months now, and you guys have him back. So prepare yourself for a really cool live. We got a lot of cool topics. We've got Stan, we've got your Uncle Luke, and we've got all you beautiful smiling people in the comments. So you guys know how we start. First off, I want to turn over the mic to Stan to greet all you people.
All right. Well, thanks for the beautiful introduction, Luke. I missed you guys. Hi there. I'm so excited to be here with Uncle Luke to go over what's been going on in the credit card world since my last video back in the beginning of July. I really appreciate all the well wishes you guys left for me after I took my little, we'll call it a sabbatical. We can, of course, talk about that as well if you'd like. I'm happy to share what's been going on in my life since then. But I really want to focus on like you guys because there's been a lot. There's so much stuff been happening since I've been gone. And I think there's no better person to hash it out with Luke because we have such differing opinions on about these certain topics. And I think it's going to really help a lot of you guys out when we talk about what you can do to help your credit card setup to be the best it could possibly be.
Awesome. The questions are already flying. Flying Turtle says he's alive.
All right.
Points with Philip is in the house. Are everybody's favorite guy, Cesar Joel.
Cesar. You know, I actually have been getting, we'll go over this later. I've been doing a lot of working out, so I'm getting my body beach bodied ready for Puerto Rico. So
I like that. Did you order this from your T-bars from the same place as RJ?
I don't think I have.
The T-bars are the ones that it's just one little string in the back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that ready yet. I don't really have that good bikini bod, but I'm working towards it. Yeah, I got time. I got a couple months. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to see something maybe neon yellow.
Yeah,
really stand out.
Ooh.
And Kevin, we're gonna get into that, my man. We're gonna Stan is taking a break from YouTube, and he's gonna talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Matt Clausen's in the house, fellow creator. If you haven't checked out his stuff, absolutely go do it. And here we got. Kevin, you're jumping the gun, man. You must have looked in our notes and found all our questions and stuff. We're going to talk about the U.S. bar.
He has an agenda, and those are probably the first two things on the agenda. So that's going to be covered, Kevin. Don't you worry.
Couple legend. I'm not a legend, but I'll be happy for you to call me anything nice. Yeah, Stan is probably going to be the first one to order those yellow Lululemon pants when the credits come out on the platform.
That's right.
Whoops. Here we go. Monty, the card nerd. What's up, man? Monty's also got a really cool channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. He's got a different perspective than we do, and we like that. As much as me and Stan disagree on stuff, we like it.
Very nice.
Tio Rico can't meet us in Puerto Rico.
He'll be in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Which is cool. Memphis Mike is jumping the gun, so we're going to go ahead and put it out here. What'd you guys book? We're going to let you get warmed up, let you brag a little bit about this. Remember, guys, a lot of folks in the credit card game are really conservative with their cents per point. They say it doesn't matter. They want to be really humble. In the adult live, you don't have to be humble. You're allowed to brag. We like it. We like to hear what you booked. And I lost it. Where we go here? Oh, man. Memphis Mike, what'd you book? Just booked 6 days, 5 nights in San Fran. Thanksgiving weekend. At the IC, baby. I like your style, man. Memphis cool. Mike is getting around lately. He has mastered the game and he's getting around. Let's see here. Stan the man. The doctor, tell him what ails you. He'll fix you.
David, good to see you. Juan, good to see you as well. I also want to shout out John too. John R. Good to see you, my friend.
Stan, I want to take this. Juan is asking about the most recent Hilton points devaluation. And I'd like to comment on that. And if you want to, I'd like to hear your opinion on it. But here's my opinion. I see these over dramatic, almost clickbaity titles about how Hilton ruined their program. And when I really dig into it, they raise the prices on properties I probably would never go to. Now, I'm not saying that I like that they're making those aspirational properties out of reach, but I don't know if it ruins the whole program. And this is coming from a guy who's moving kind of away from Hilton. But when I see those devaluations like that, I don't see it as ruining the program. So it didn't really move the needle for me. What'd you think, Stan?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't kept up on the news of what specific devaluation there is. I don't know if it's like a certain property or properties going from like 2 cents per point to 1.5 cents per point or what have you. My opinion is really this. If you can get a Hilton stay for more than 0.5 cents per point, you're winning. Because really, if you continue to buy the points at that level, as long as you get value back at that level or higher, you're getting a discount. Now, this is not like free travel. It's not as good as it used to be. However, I think that if you're part of the Hilton program and you are buying, like myself and Luke do, those 100% sale max points every year, that's the level, that's the bar that I set. Do I like devaluations? No, but we know it's going to happen every year. So you just have to, unfortunately, deal with it and then adjust fire as necessary, as you always say.
Yeah, I think the new news was like maybe $1,000 a night property that used to be 100,000 points. Some of them are now 200,000 points or 250,000 points. And I mean, it just doesn't make sense for most of us to get that low of a value on your points. So it does suck if you're trying to stay at those particular properties, but I don't know if I'll buy Hilton points in 2026. Stay tuned for that. But I have bought the maximum in 2025. But I've also scheduled them all out. So this is the point where I move to Marriott for a little while, or I, adjust fire accordingly and get back on the Hilton train. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm not super worried about that devaluation, if I'm honest. Oh man, points with Philip is staying at a family mountain house for Thanksgiving. Man, I wish I had generational wealth like points with Philip. We don't.
That sounds awesome, Philip. That's awesome. If you can get a stay for nothing, I'll take that over anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yuri Sabu booked England for 2026 spring break 8 nights, flying Virgin and staying in Hyatt. Man, you got it. Now, I am curious. Did you have to pay a really steep taxes and fees for those Virgin flights? Because some of them look like great deals at first, and then they're a lot of cash. They're probably technically still a good deal, but I've stayed away from UK flights with Virgin just because for a while there they didn't have that giant tax. They came back, so I'm a little scared of it. Jose says everything in his wallet's been devalued.
That's true. That's very, very true. So I feel you there, Jose.
That's why we use the phrase earn and burn. We don't mean get rid of your points as fast as you can. We mean don't hold them and don't wait for these devaluations. Oh, Brandon booked 2 nights at the Embassy Suites in Orlando. Nice, man. Orlando's just an all-around cool place. A lot of stuff to do.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin, parents booked a layover in Korea. 7 hours to visit the country. 7 hours to visit Seoul. What's the best debit card for ATM withdrawal internationally? I think this is something me and Stan's going to agree on, and I'll let him answer it.
Yep, it's going to be that Schwab debit card. Definitely the best one. There are other ones too. There's some other credit unions, that sort of thing. But I have had phenomenal results with debit card, the Charles Schwab debit card. I'm pretty sure, Luke, you have the same experience.
Yeah. Easy. You fill up their checking account. You don't get charged. If you do get charged a fee, you get it reimbursed. You can withdraw local currency. If you are interested in investing or investing someday, I have quite a few products with Charles Schwab. I have a Roth IRA. I have a custodial brokerage account for Carlos and a couple other things. I think it's a really easy website to navigate, and I'm saying Charles Schwab debit card for anything international. So you guys write it down. We agreed,
that's
completely
right.
agreed. Not agreed with certain asterisks. We
just
agreed.
Count it. We'll count. We'll take what we can get. Right.
Yeah. Zach Kinsey booked was that Houston to Easy E. Is that Argentina or?
I'm not sure.
I want to say it's. Oh man, yeah, it's somewhere in South America, somewhere really cool. Overnight layover in Bogota. Economy 35,000 American Airlines. That's awesome, man. Was it Argentina?
Yeah, it's Argentina.
Okay.
It's Ezeiza International Airport in Buenos Aires.
Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, we don't seem to talk about South America enough, in my opinion, when it comes to these travel redemptions. South America is super cool. And if like for me, I'm a Midwestern Appalachian kid, we didn't learn a whole lot about South America growing up. So to go there, I think it's underrated. It's very cool place.
Very nice.
Jonathan booked Barcelona. Nice move, man. Transfer capital 1 points to Virgin. So Virgin, you got a Delta from NYC to Barcelona on Delta. That is very, very interesting. Is that a direct flight? Because if it is, I want to look into that. That looks.
Oh, Luke, I want to point out that John are gifted a membership, and you will never guess who got one.
Gifted one, Luke's points and miles. Who got it?
Just two chats down.
Oh, shoot. I can't see it. Where are we at here?
I believe it's Memphis Mike.
Oh, all right. There we go.
There it is.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Memphis
Very
Mike.
awesome. Thank you, John, for that. That's great.
The Charles Schwab debit card. Do you need an income to open? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I don't remember any kind of restrictions or requirements.
Apply. You have to have an investment account too. So you have to open a brokerage and a checking account. That is one thing. But I don't think there's even a minimum requirement for either of them.
I don't remember them being a minimum.
It's fine. Yeah.
And you can get the Charles Schwab Platinum if you want some of these days. JC's got a question. It sounds like, maybe not. Thinking of buying Marriott points at a 40% bonus. Okay, maybe we'll disagree here. Maybe not. Can convert 2 Marriott points to 1 United mile at 60K intervals. Comes out, we're getting fuzzy with this math, 1.78 cents per point cheaper than buying directly from. Okay, first off, I would not recommend, unless you had a specific redemption that was better than 2.2 cents per point, I would not recommend buying United miles. If somebody else disagrees, then let me know. But that's really expensive. Would I buy Marriott points at a 40% bonus to convert? No, I don't even have to try that math. It's not gonna do it for me.
I agree with that.
It's just not going to.
I love Marriott's. I think they're a great program, as everyone probably knows. I will keep saying this from the top of my lungs. Marriott is a free night certificate play. It's not a points play. The points are great when you have them, like from welcome offers or referrals or whatever. But ultimately, you're going to get the best value with those FNCs, even though they're capped. The points, in my opinion, are just meant to 15K plus up your FNCs when you can. If you want to do point stuff, that's when you go to like IHG, Hilton, Hyatt. Obviously, you can buy the points from Hilton, IHG, and then for Hyatt, you have the Chase or Bilt transfer partner situation going on. So that's what I would say with Marriott. I would probably never buy Marriott points unless I was short by like 2,000 or 3,000 or something, and then I would just buy it just to top it off. But I would never actually buy it for like an actual redemption, like even with the 40% sale.
Now, what about this, Dan?
Especially not for United either. I would never buy a hotel currency to transfer to a airline currency, but I also wouldn't ever buy an airline currency either off of, even if it's 100% sale, because like you said, it's still not really worth it unless you get that really high center point redemption. And so now it's on you to get that value.
What if he has a flight that's bookable right now? Let's say Newark to Rome direct on United, and the cash price for the points would make them worth 5 cents per point. Should he do all the work by buying Marriott, transferring them over to make that 5 cent per point redemption cost him 1.78 cents?
I mean, if you want to do that, that's mathematically fine. I don't know how often I see that. So that's one thing, but it's a lot of work to get to that one point. You just have to do what's right for you, what you feel is something that you want to spend time doing. Personally, if I was met with a flight like that, I may consider it. I probably would still pay cash just because it's just like, I'm done. I don't have to worry about this transfer. But again, it depends on the person.
I think this exact example, it might be okay, but in general, I don't think it's a great idea. And like Stan says, if it makes a lot of sense for you right now, I still wouldn't do it. I don't. That's it. So, I hope that answered your question. Here's a good one. This is for you, Stan. The most impactful credit card news since you've been gone, and there's been a ton.
There's been so much. It doesn't really surprise anybody what the most impactful news has been for me, and that is the nerfing of the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve, as well as the U.S. Bank Smartly. Although I don't think that was before I left, but maybe it was. I can't remember anymore. But both of those, that has affected me, but like not as much. Ultimately, I did get the U.S. Bank Smartly version 1 good letter. So that means I still maintain the 4% cash back with the 100K in the brokerage account as opposed to the checking account. So I can still use that. But I think it's what's today, the 11th. So in 4 days' time, there's going to be a $10,000 cap per month for that 4%. Won't affect me. I've looked at my budget and I don't think I'm ever going to spend that much on that particular card. So those have been the most impactful. But I don't know, it's a good time to go ahead and talk about the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve.
Yes, let me interrupt you for 1 second, Stan. Mr. Zach Kinsey just hit us with a 10 piece.
Very nice.
Two great channels and views finally off of Amex blacklist due to maybe not the best past relationship. Open to Hilton Surpass. I love the card. What do you recommend for the second card in the Amex ecosystem? Already hold the Venture X and the Saver. I'll go first. If you're going to get the Surpass, shoot. I'm going to say something maybe a little wacky. You have the Venture X and the Saver. Let's say that is going to be your transferable currencies. So why don't we stay in this Hilton ecosystem and get the Hilton Aspire to go along with that Surpass?
I think that's a great choice. It depends on what you're looking for, though. So for me, it's always about, are you building up your core setup? Are you looking for cards with benefits? So if you are someone who plans on staying at a lot of Hiltons and you want to just rack up a bunch of points, Surpass and Aspire, great combination. Even Surpass regular Hilton is a great combination as well. I would say if you're looking to build up that core setup, you have a pretty good Capital One duo covering catch-all, the 3X on restaurants, and the 3X on the groceries too. I believe that's right. And so that's great. But things you may be missing would be something like travel or transit. And so if you have travel and transit as a missing category, maybe the Amex Green Card could be a way to go too, because it's got a pretty low annual fee. And also you can start that ladder of going from the green, gold, platinum to get those MR points and start in that MR point ecosystem as well. Also, don't forget about the gold card, the Amex Gold Card. If you were to earn with that card, you got that 1 to 2 transfer from Amex to Hilton. So you can actually get a lot of value for Hilton if you want to use your MR points in that way. That will also supplement what you already have with that new Surpass card, which is great.
2.5 right now.
2.5. Oh, even I gotta get some of my MR points in this Hilton. Then I didn't know that. That's great. Surpass though is great because you now have Hilton Gold. That's like the most important thing. Obviously, the 15K FNC is excellent if you can make that. But really, Hilton Gold is great. And so if you can go to Hilton's and just use that with you and whoever you want to stay with, definitely a great option. So congrats on the new card, and hope that was a answer that you can kind of go. I think you have two good options to choose from.
Yeah, and definitely which either one you do. If you do more Hilton cards, remember that you can upgrade and downgrade those things and work a lot of different techniques in that sense. If you're not familiar with it, stick around. We talk about that kind of stuff quite a bit.
All right.
Stan was going to, what we're doing? Altitude Reserve?
Altitude Reserve. I think people want to hear about that. Okay, so US Bank Altitude Reserve. This has been like a big thing for me personally. As you all know, it has been my favorite card since I got it. And so it's been a big blow to my core credit card setup, because that was, and probably for a lot of you too, out watching this live stream, because it was the single best card to really, in a simplistic fashion, get 4.5% cash back guaranteed on everything mobile wallet related and travel related for that matter. So now that it got nerfed, and just to recap, the biggest nerf was actually that 1.5x RTR nerf, where you can no longer get that after December 15th. So it's still okay for now, but there's been a lot of talk about what to do about this card moving forward. And so I'll kind of explain to you what I've been doing with it. So my annual fee just posted this month. relatively recently. And so there are two things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is I want to make sure to get that $325 travel and dining credit, which also, by the way, is going away December 15th into some kind of like US bank travel credit, which is fine, but not as good as what we have with this travel dining credit. So I'm gonna get that done first. I also want to not get rid of this card, but product change it to something better. Now, there's been many data points about some people saying, oh, it goes, you can't do it, or you can do it, but for that Altitude Connect or the Cash Plus or both. I think it's going to vary by individual. I don't know my status yet because I haven't called. The reason is because I want to, again, first get that $325 travel dining credit out of the way before I make that decision. So you have about 30 days-ish to make that decision to get that $400 annual fee back. And the question you'd be asking yourself now is, why am I waiting to do that if the annual fee already posted on my account? Well, I kind of look back at my last year's statement. What you have to look at is actually for the anniversary year, it's based on your opening date of the card. So for example, my statement date closed on like the 4th, for example. So I got charged the $400 on the 3rd. But that means that that's not the same as my anniversary open date. So I opened this card, let's say September 15th, right? So between the 4th and the 15th, if you spend money for that travel dining credit, you won't get that credit. So I got to wait until after the 15th to go ahead and start spending on that card to get that to trigger. That's what happened last year. I'm pretty sure it's the same this year unless they changed it. But that's probably why for some of you, you got your annual fee. You started spending on the card in the travel dining category. Like, where's my where's my travel and dining credit? It's probably because you didn't yet anniversary year from that opening date. And if you don't remember your opening date, you can go to Credit Karma. They have all your opening dates on all your cards. So just do that. That's a free way to do it. It's very simple. So I'm waiting for that date to come. That's in a couple of days. And then I'll do a one-time $325 charge to get that travel dining credit on. It takes about 5 days to process. After it processes, then I'm going to go ahead and cancel that card. And by cancel, I mean either cancel or product change. I'd like the product change because it has 25K credit limit and I've had it for 2 years. So it's going to help my credit report. But if I have to cancel, I'll cancel. I don't need that card anymore because with that nerf, it's just not worth it. We can talk about what I'm going to do next after that. But that's kind of the process, the step-by-step process in what I'm doing with Altitude Reserve. The last thing I want to cover is what am I going to do or how am I going to get that dining and travel credit out at that exact $325 amount? Well, you can always just spend up to that amount and just do that. Personally, I recently booked a cruise through Costco Travel, which I don't go on cruises very often. It's for next year, actually. And you're able to, with at least Costco Travel, you can actually specifically purchase a certain amount of money on a credit card that you can just put in and type it in. You can do it as many times as you want until you pay your entire cruise bill. So I'm going to just put $325 and just put that towards the cruise, which I haven't paid off completely yet. And then that'll trigger that 3x travel. That will hopefully get that real-time. Sorry, I keep saying that. It will get that travel dining credit. And then that's how I will kind of get that out of the way. And you can do the same thing too with real-time rewards as well. Because another question is, how can I evacuate my real-time rewards points, the US bank points at the 1.5x level before that December 15th date? And that's one strategy. You can also, there's that Southwest trick where you book a refundable for, or any kind of airfare for that matter, a refundable ticket, and then just evacuate points that way. The way to really know how much money you need to spend to trigger that actual amount, and I give credit to Chad from my DVC points to about the strategy. You just take the amount of points you have in your US bank account. So you have 1,000 points, and then you multiply it by 0.015. That'll give you the dollar amount of the exact amount you need to trigger RTR, and that'll zero out your entire account. And so that's what I would do. And you can do this whichever way you want to do it, but that's how you calculate how you can trigger that and basically zero out those points as fast as possible. That was a lot, sorry, but I got really kind of into the US bank out to reserve. But
I can see how the card is so simple.
Step by step. I know. Well, we never thought we'd have to exit out of it. That's the thing.
Right.
I thought it would be something that would go on for a long time, and it certainly did for a while. But this happens, and so the question then becomes, what's the strategy of what's your exit plan? And that is the exit plan for me. And then for those of you who are wondering what my next step is, well, I have the US Bank Smartly version 1 good, so I can use that for as long as possible. But if I did not have that, it would definitely be that Bank of America preferred reward system, either the Premium Rewards Elite or Premium Rewards cards. And so I know a lot of you have that card, and I highly recommend that as your secondary option if you use the US Bank Altitude Reserve as your primary card in your core setup.
So no interest at all in the US Bank transfer partners.
No.
Okay.
Here's the thing, like,
Fair
you know,
enough.
what okay, it's like it's
What are they
again,
gonna
you're
give
right.
you?
Like, what are they gonna give you, right? Like, the thing is, it's most likely going to be Wells Fargo-ish. Not to like rag on Wells Fargo, but like, you know, it's not going to be the ones that are interesting to me most likely. I already have coverage for what I want in Amex and Chase and Bilt too, so I don't need any more. I know there's been like a lot of emphasis before all these changes about getting points diversity, you know, getting every single ecosystem, and look at where that's led us, right? So now that people that did that now have a lot of cards that are like increasing annual fees, increasing statement credits, and now they're like, there's so much stuff going on, and now you have to almost, you know, simplify a little bit in those ecosystems.
I'm one of those guys.
Yeah, there it is, right?
I tell myself every day we need to shrink it.
Yeah, and so that's what has happened, and so I think before that was a great. It was kind of a plus or minus. Like if you wanted to just diversify, you could. If you didn't want to, you didn't have to. But I think now it's just diversification is like not the way to go, because now it's really costing you money and it's costing you time. So you got to pick the points that you want that make sense to you. 2 to 3 ecosystems, I think is good. That's my opinion. I know other people say I still team travel. I still like a lot of points. But if you can handle all the annual fees and travel credits, then I mean, by all means, go for it. But I think one of the things that we need to realize now in this new credit card world is that the time that we spend on our cards is costing us money too, not just the amount of value we're getting. So maybe the monetary value is good, but if you're spending too much time on it, you could be doing other things, financial or non-financial, in your life to make you a happier person. And so that's kind of my stance on what's going on now in terms of these new annual fees, these new statement credits. It's just pushing us to a more simplistic setup.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that it's not who's getting simpler; it's how long is it going to take you. Because like for me, I would love to get simpler, but I have to wait for these annual fees to hit. And my strategy this year was, I'm not going to be the Amex guy, but I'm also not going to turn down no lifetime language offers. Well, guess what Amex did to me? They fed me low lifetime language offers and upgrade offers like it was crazy. And I was not going to turn that down because they had something in mind to use them for.
Yeah.
So now I have to wait.
Yeah. Well, I think that you and I have a different like life circumstances. Like I know you've got a family, you've got a lot of purchases. One fundamental issue with credit cards that we all know, but we don't really talk about as much because we all typically don't pay any interest on our cards, is that you have to be financially savvy with what your spending is. But the only way to really earn these cashback, these points, there's only one way to do that, and that is to spend money. But I can probably say to everyone here in this room, the whole reason why we have credit cards and we use them the way we do is to save money. So that's kind of like a catch-22. You got to spend more money to save more money. So we have to figure out a way to spend less money but still earn rewards from what we're spending on. Fortunately for you, Luke, fortunately or unfortunately, you have a lot of spending that you need to do. And so that means that all those NLL offers, great. You get that bag, you get that cheddar, right?
Yeah.
You know, I would never be able to do that because my spending is just not at the level of what you have. And that may be, you know, I don't have a family, I don't have a house yet, by the way. I'm still looking for a house, so we're not quite there yet.
All right.
But once I have hopefully those things, I think my spending will have to increase naturally. And then that may open me up to kind of in the situation that you're in.
Yeah. And as soon as you grow that family, man, everything's going to change. Your whole outlook, you're going to have your spend a single family home and growing family. Man, that changes the spending a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It like astronomically. And It's worth it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Here's a well, I got the wrong one. We had a good okay. So Jonathan, the diversification is something he's battling right now. He's got to rethink his whole approach and more preferred system I want to run. And I can tell you that from I have point earning cards in Wells, Citi, Capital One, Chase, Amex. I don't have Built, but I think I have just about everything else. And I think about a lot how to shrink that down to 2 ecosystems. I don't think I'll ever be able to get down to 2, but I would really like to be down to 3. And I can tell you it's the hardest part for me is the emotional part of it. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Technically for me, because you have you seen Rich with Points' website?
I have. It's very good.
Yeah, we're going to have him on next week. Yeah, we'll have him on next week. But when you get down to the nuts and bolts and the actual numbers, Capital One probably doesn't work for me because there are better options for almost everything when I pair it with something else. But Capital One is my oldest credit card. I have fell for the marketing. I do like the way it earns and the way that the interface is on the website. So emotionally, I'm attached to the Venture X. When in all reality, it would probably be better for me to downgrade that to a no annual fee card and forget about Capital One altogether.
And you can do that, right?
I can't. Yeah.
Downgrade. Yeah. I mean, can you product change back up again?
That's the issue. Nobody really knows.
Okay.
Because it's Capital One, right?
All right. That's true.
But I could do better if I took, let's say, either Amex or Chase and I paired it with Citi. That's probably going to be a better fit for me than Capital One because I fly American Airlines.
Yeah.
So
it's such an interesting topic because that's where things are going with all these higher annual fees and more statement credits. I will say that I agree with one of like some of your videos, a lot of other people's videos that have been put out recently about how there's going to be more focus on airline and hotel specific cards for this exact reason. I think before saying I'm going to have cards with flexible point currencies only or predominantly, that used to be true. I think now it's less true or maybe even not true anymore. I think it's a matter of thinking specifically about which transfer partners or which airlines and hotels matter to you and just going all in on those instead. Because then you open up to a lot of these mid-range cards at the $95, $150 price point that is more reasonable in terms of annual fees. And so I think that's the strategic part, especially for Jonathan here, to think about, is there a certain airline hotel that would work for you better and have that be those mid-tier cards to shoot for, as opposed to going for all those very high annual fees, flexible point earning cards.
Yeah. So Jonathan, fortunately for us, they're kind of taking the choice away from us. You're not going to find very many people out there that can utilize all the credits on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, all the credits on the Amex Platinum card, and then whatever. That's going to be near impossible for anybody who has a life.
Yeah, you can do it. It's just not gonna. It's gonna suck, you know.
Yeah,
you will get the value.
Yeah, it's going to take away a lot of the fun in what we do. So I think this time next year, we're going to be talking about how everybody has 2 ecosystems, and that's it. So, I think it'll take everybody that long to whittle it down. Or, like Stan said, you're going to have guys that are just laughing because they're like, I don't have a card that's more than $95, and I'm just getting the points, and I'm going everywhere.
That's actually something that's interesting that you brought that up because I am actually going more towards that in my own personal credit card setup. Like I used to be more of a hybrid guy, more leaning cashback. I'm almost entirely going to cashback at this point, and I will make a video about that sometime this year about my entire credit card setup and how that's changing because I think it's really interesting. It's basically a credit card red wedding. Like everything disappears, and it's really going to show how I'm cutting down annual fees and how I'm replacing the cards with things that actually make more sense. One of the biggest things that happened that is probably not applicable to a lot of people is this Amex Platinum Morgan Stanley card. Now we know about the Platinum card in general. It's going to change soon, maybe next week even. But for the Morgan Stanley card in particular, I did finally get that email where that Access investing account that I'm having to keep that card open, it's going to be closed in 2026. What that means is that Platinum card that I have is probably going to be closed in 2026 too. Now, I don't think I can product change to a green or gold because it's a Morgan
No.
Stanley card, so you can't. So I'm probably just going to lose the card. So the question then becomes, do I apply for another platinum card because I love it so much, or do I just like let it go? And right now I'm leaning to let it go because there's not much that I'm using on it, except for maybe Centurion lounge access. And I know that's a big shift from what I thought from before, but the reason why I kept that card open, specifically the Morgan Stanley version, was because of that free authorized user. It's $190, right? If you have a platinum that's $895 supposedly, plus the $190, which my wife should have, that's like over $1,000 of just the platinum card. And so you better be using that sucker for as much as possible. Otherwise, there's no need, right?
But I am optimistic, very optimistic that on the 18th, they're going to do this in a way. People say that Amex doesn't listen to the customer. They tell the customer what they want. I think that's true to a point, but I think that coupon book is, like we're saying, is going to be consolidated. When you're talking about $600 in FHR, that's a pretty simple chunk of that. $400 in Resi, that's a pretty simplified chunk of that. Granted, if it's as long as it's not monthly, $1.99 credits here and that. So, but I think you're going to see, and this is my prediction, on the 18th, you're going to see the new platinum, and it's going to be very expensive. But I don't think you're going to want to give up that escape lounge.
I won't though, because I have the Ritz-Carlton,
Priority pass,
which has a priority pass on it, right? The Ritz-Carlton is like the saving grace because it's still $450 with a $300 annual airline credit, right? And it gets you Sapphire lounge access plus priority pass regular access. So I'm not giving up priority pass in general. I definitely would never do that, right? But Centurion lounge specifically, I don't really go to that many. I can forego that. I can give that up if I don't have to spend $1,000 a year on a card. But it depends on what you're right. I don't know, and no one knows what the actual new refresh is going to look like. And that's going to be very key in this whole decision process. How I feel about statement credits. Do I like them? No. But if they have 7 monthly credits, I don't care what value I get. I'm not going to do that. Right? No one's going to, well, I don't know, no one, but not a lot of people are going to do that if they care about the value they get back on the card. They do have those, quarterly, I don't know, it's quarterly Lululemon or something, and 2 FHR credits split or whatever. It's those are they're okay, but they're still borderline ridiculous, right? Especially if there's more than one of them.
Now, do you have other MR point earning cards?
I do. I have the Blue Business Plus. Everyone should have that card.
Okay.
Everyone. I don't care who you are to get that card.
Here's my question: is the Amex canceling the Amex Platinum card? Is it worth being in the Amex ecosystem at all?
I think for me personally, the answer is yes. I use my MR points primarily for either Hilton or for Singapore Airlines, which, by the way, you were doing a what'd you book. I'm going to go back to Singapore next year. It's my plan. That's my plan. So I'm going to use a lot of those MR points and evacuate those to that. So that's going to be really cool. I've had a lot of good use with MR points. And so I will keep that likely as a ecosystem. And I'm glad you brought this up, is that I probably won't exit myself. I had the green, gold, and platinum already. So that platinum Morgan Stanley is going to go away no matter what. But my plan actually is that my wife has never held a green, gold, or platinum. And so she will start with the green, which I think is going to be good for me. And the reason is because it gets that clear credit. It's $209 now for clear. And that's a $150 annual fee. So that's really good. And some people are like, well, would you actually spend money on clear already? And the answer for me is yes, because I'm in airports 5 times a month and I use clear almost every single time, because for whatever reason in my home airport in Ontario, that pre-check line has gotten longer and longer and longer. And so now clear actually is not, I won't say a necessity, but it really does help with the process of getting through security for myself personally. And so I would actually spend money on clear regardless of if I had a green card or platinum card or not. And so that's automatic value. And I still get to have a green card with the 3x travel and transit MR points. If I wanted it, I probably wouldn't use it for anything, and also the welcome offer too, right? But I think that actually has now become a better fit. I am getting rid of a lot of nice things on the platinum card, like the FHR availability, like the Centurion lounge access. But it's one of those things where, do I need them? No. I can just, it's fine. I'll go to the club lounge or something. It'll be fine, I know.
Yeah,
You're just like
that's tough because I do often fantasize about being a basic traveler and hey I don't know man like there's certain things that I really do value, even if I can tell you that monetarily it's like not that big a deal. But having access to places and being treated a little bit differently, it's why I'm in this game.
Yeah.
And like to kind of talk about what you said earlier about being cash back. I've really thought about that and really wanted to move towards that, but I have created a monster in my house. My wife is a big time traveler now. My wife has started taking her solo trips, and she has the full on travel bug, and she's never going to stop.
Yeah.
Traveling to the Caribbean, traveling to Europe. It's never going to happen. So I'm in it. I'm in it for a while, man.
Nice. I'll respond to that, but let's acknowledge a few super sticker chats here first.
Oh, here we go. Law, 5 spot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. And also, I think QC Man's got some.
QC Man with it. Always got the frog, the frog emoji. I like that.
I'm right here.
QC Man, thank you so much. And Law, thank you also. Those are, we really do appreciate that.
I want to go back to Chad Moneyman's. By the way, hi, Chad. Good to see you. He had a comment here. It is with the green card, a little bit up.
Chad loves the green card.
Yeah, it's totally. I'll read it if you can't find it. It's totally worth it. The green card is an unsung hero in the Amex ecosystem. And you have a bunch of other people down here. Jonathan and Memphis Mike here at the bottom of the chat also agree that they love the green card. I think the green card's great. I mean, it used to, in my opinion, not be that great because of the Wells Fargo autograph card does basically the same thing. But if you're talking about someone like myself who had the platinum card and liked it, and then they like killed it, and so the green card's a good alternative now for my situation because those transporters at Wells Fargo, they just don't do it for me as opposed to the green card transfer partners like the MR points. Those are actually much better for myself in my situation.
I'll agree with everyone, and I think. Sorry, here's what I think about Amex right now. Today, right now, I think it is extremely powerful if you're all in on an Amex ecosystem. And I think if you're going to be all in on an Amex ecosystem, then the green card has a place in your wallet. I think if you just, hey, I'm all Amex all day, obviously you have to have a no foreign transaction fee, Visa or MasterCard on the side.
Yep,
but
that's right.
And you jump with both feet into Amex and you are willing to do the work, wear the blue hard hat with Amex on the side. I don't know even with all these changes and all these great things, these great products, I don't think we can come close to Amex. And that's coming from a guy who's tried to get away from them.
Yeah.
But that's the caveat. You've got to be all in with them.
Yeah. I'm holding my breath on what the Amex Platinum refresh is going to look like. We'll kind of see what that turns into. But, honestly, $1,000 annual fee card's tough sell. It's a very tough sell.
Oh, what about, so you're a cashback guy. I've always thought about and kind of conceptualized a setup with $1,000 platinum card and 5% cash back all around.
You have to use it. So the way I look at it is that you look at your credit card portfolio as a whole, you single out which credit cards have annual fees, and then you take those annual fees and be like, how much am I using that card? Am I actually using it or am I not, right? So in your situation, if you have a bunch of 5% no annual fee cards and you have a platinum card, you have to zero that platinum card and you better be like, I better be using all those credits to the best of my ability, and you have to work for it. And so in that case, the answer is fine. Right.
Now here's where we get to the reason for the show. Completely disagree. $1,000 platinum card and 5% cash back cards. I can see that as this $1,000 is a down payment on my luxury travel for the year. And if I don't use the Lululemon tights, it doesn't matter at all to me. Like, not at all. Just having access to the different programs, just having the TSA pre-check with the global entry, that $1,000 for me is going to be plenty to access fine hotels, to access premium plaza lounges, Centurion, Delta Sky Club lounges, which are, let's keep it real, they're a little harder to access now. For me, something we always kind of forget, but the protections and the purchase and travel protection insurances, they do matter. I think $1,000 Okay, so $1,000 with the authorized user card for player 2, and you travel 6, 8, 10 times a year. I don't care about a lot of those credits now. I think that card is plenty worth $1,000. I think it might even be worth more if you can somehow forget about some of those stupid credits.
Well,
if you don't agonize over using them.
It depends on the perspective. So your perspective is, okay, the platinum card is giving me a lot of value in the travel situation where it's convenience. It really elevates the way that I travel, which is totally true. And I totally get that. But now the ball's in your court to get that value back, right?
Sure.
There are ways to get around that may not be as good, but it's like good enough. So for example, that Fidelity 2% card has TSA pre-check on it. You can get that from that. So there's that. You can obviously go for a lower annual fee card like the Altitude Connect for that 4 priority passes. That's I know for you it's not great, but that is an alternative to $1,000 card, right? And so you're not going to get the actual luxury that you're looking with the platinum card, but you're going to do it in a more cheaper way where you can actually take that $1,000 and apply that to something else than just an annual fee. And I think that's a decision point that a lot of people have to think about for themselves. By the way, we're saying this just right now about the annual fees. And I will just briefly say that no matter what the annual fee, no matter, but these annual fees are higher. But as long as you get a good elevated welcome offer, these cards are always worth the first year. So if you have a platinum card and you get a good welcome offer and you don't use the credits, like even if you don't, just you can get a good value back from the welcome offer plus whatever you use. So just I want to put that asterisk there. But that second year, that's when we're just like, I don't know. But for me, I actually would go on the side of I'd rather decrease my convenience to save more money. That's my stance on it. If I'm talking about $1,000 Amex Platinum card, I think you just differ in the sense that you actually would like that more. That's okay. It's again, we all have different opinions on this, but that's how I approach that.
Yeah, and I think actually you let me have a brain fart. I had something in my brain and it went away. but I do think. Okay, now it was. I think, and I've been talking about this in the last couple of weeks. I think we need to get a new formula for our cost effectiveness than zeroing out annual fees. And here's why I say that. If you are a traveler, which if you're not a traveler, don't even look at the platinum card. Like don't look at it. Go away. Yeah. But if you are a traveler, I almost guarantee there's going to be a day where you're like, what'd they say? The flight's 2.5. I guess we have to go back to this Churion Lounge, which is a much different experience than, like I say, hanging out in the bullpen with Adam J's snot-nosed brats.
It's true.
Like, and now I know that doesn't equal $1,000 for most people, but there are experiences like that with a platinum card or a Chase Sapphire Reserve, any of the premium cards. I don't think, and this is, if you're someone who, in our opinion, we talked offline about this. If you're someone who is financially in the right place to hold $1,000 credit card, then I don't think you need to zero that out. I think you're going to get quite a bit enough benefit without worrying about if you're getting $700 back, if you're getting $750 back. And I think those things that we don't normally put a monetary value on is what makes those cards attractive to us. And we somehow forget that when it comes to the bottom line.
Yeah, you gotta pick your poison though, because like you are right. Like when you have that situation where you gotta you get to land a flight, you get back to the Centurion Lounge, you have this great experience, like that is worth it. And I totally not relate, but I can see how that would be worth it. I'd be sitting down with Adam J's kids, and I would not like that at all.
No, you would not.
But that would be
like it.
That'd be the gamble that I'd play, right? Because like you don't know if it could be delayed on a flight or not. You may. But no, I think it's something we just have to just figure out for ourselves. What kind of gamble do you want to play? And I personally would rather play the gamble where I don't spend $1,000 up front. And just on that topic, I actually did an audit of my last 5 years in annual fees just to see what that was like. I actually spent, and this is not unheard of, but I spent over $10,000 in annual fees for Amex in the past 5 years,
which is incredible.
That is not a lot compared to some people in this chat, and you, and especially you, Uncle Luke, you probably spent a lot more than that. But to me, I was like, I spent how much money in even if it's 5 years? That's a lot of money for that, right? And so they get you in one way or another. So in my opinion, I'm now in the mindset where I'm just going to start cutting back,
Well,
and trying to see if I can be okay with that.
so let me ask you a question about cutting back. This is just a theoretical question, hypothetical question. How much would you be willing to pay if I said, Stan, you and your player two, I want you to buy a insurance / customer service package. And this includes trip delay, trip cancellation, baggage. It includes all the things that are included with these premium luxury travel cards. And it includes at least what we consider some of the best customer service. Now, you are a traveler. You're doing a lot of traveling.
I do.
And a lot of us forget about all that stuff. But how much would you pay for that package per year?
I don't
And
know.
let's just say it's excellent coverage. It's the best coverage you could get.
So now you're getting into it's hard because what I probably have never mentioned on this channel before is I have never once used travel insurance for any reason. And I don't know, it's because of the way that I travel. I generally take nonstop flights, and I generally, get to the airport like really early. I choose reputable airlines that don't have these issues, historically. And so I've never had to use that. I mean, if I had to buy one, I would say maybe the same amount as a priority pass membership, like $500, $600 a year. I may do that. I don't think I'd purchase one because I've never used it, right? I've never figured out a reason. I don't think the way that I travel is risky enough for me to do that. Now, if I travel, I want to get the best deal, but I want to fly from LA to New York City to London to Rome to Dubai because the cheapest flight, and I'm going to do that in one go, I may actually get an insurance policy because there's so many points of entry where you may lose baggage, you may miss your flight, there may be a delay. So then that becomes more of a situation where I would consider that. But if I'm just doing nonstops most of the time, I don't think I really need that. Things happen. You never know whether,
There's strikes
things.
in European airports.
Oh yeah. Again, this is all gamble, but insurance is something you pay for, you hope you never use it. So I understand.
But you would consider buying that insurance package.
I would consider buying.
Let's say you're going to Singapore next year and you might want something. So $500 for an insurance package, but the platinum card has that. And we generally don't factor that in with our getting it down to zero.
It's true, but the value that I get from that that on the platinum is zero because I've never used it yet. I don't value that until I use it or I think I'm going to use it. Right. Okay. And I know that's not necessarily the right way to think about it, but that's how I think about it because it doesn't provide any value to me. If I've never used travel insurance for any reason, it has no inherent value to me. And again, I think it's based on the way that I travel. I'm just very lucky about that. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm willing to just not. It's the same thing you do with the auto collision damage waiver situation. I always use credit cards, and so should the rest of you, by the way. If you have primary auto rental CDW on a card, definitely use that card for that rental car purchase. But there are some cities that I will actually not use the credit card and use just a normal card and purchase on top of my rental car the actual insurance. 2 cities I do that for without question: Boston, New York City. Those places have. They're trying to park there, trying to drive there. You never know what. And I'm not saying that they're bad drivers. Boston, their roads just suck. So there's just kind of part of that. Yeah. But it's just, I know that if I had some kind of situation happen to my car, my rental car, it scratched or I got into an accident, and there's no obviously bodily injury, it's just vehicle damage. I'd rather just be oh, I got hit. Here's your car. Goodbye. As opposed to being now I gotta spend 6 months with Amex or whatever the card was and figuring out how to get my money back and the insurance policy. I'd rather just spend the extra money up front and do that. So that's just an example of how I look at insurance. It's really a case by case basis. Now, if I'm driving my own area or I go to somewhere I don't know, just somewhere in California, for example, that I'm familiar with, I'll just go ahead and get the rental car insurance with my credit card and just that's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that.
Okay, and the second thing, so the insurance, I'm with you. I've never made a claim with a credit card for any of that travel stuff. I never have. And I go back and forth whether I value it or not. But one thing that did happen to me, and I love telling this story, I booked a flight to Japan to Tokyo through the Amex travel portal. It was during COVID, or it was the end of COVID, and it was just one of those really crazy, weird deals. Like, I have to go. Well, it was the October that COVID ended, and Japan was not letting foreigners into the country, but my flight was already scheduled. I called Jiao. Jiao says, nope, it's non-refundable. Sorry, you can't come here, and you can't have your money back. And even though it was a great deal, it's still fairly expensive. So I call American Express. Long story short, American Express calls me back 2 hours and says they won't even cancel it for us. They won't refund you for us. So what we've done is we've refunded your platinum card. Have a nice day. So that's another reason, and I know that's probably not going to happen again. But I just want to say that those premium cards sometimes do have advantages that we can't calculate and we can't count on. And when it happens, is there anything worth more than that good feeling that somebody took care of you? It's just, I hate to sound like a softie, but it's like, wow. And that's not the first time Amex did that for me. Amex has done some really, what I would say, remarkable things. Like, they've listened in on calls I've had with hotels and then jumped on the call and said, that's not true. This is the policy. This is what you have to do. And it's like, oh my, like when I booked I think I booked the Conrad in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl last year. Stupid booking. I should not have booked that. I booked it because I thought, listen, if the Bengals go, I can go to the Super Bowl. Well, then I'm like, well, that's stupid. They're not going. So I tried to cancel it. And they go, no, we're not refunding that. I'm like, oh my goodness. So long story short, I want to see some credit card creators come up with a better formula for me for getting that annual fee down to value, monster zero. I mean, I don't think we do as good a job with that because, like you said, we don't like those credits. So there's no way I'm valuing a $25 seafood restaurant credit at $25, or something. I don't know. You know what I mean, though. Like those credits are not face value for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it depends on the person too. If you look at Chad's recent comment here, he's talking about how he made a claim twice. I don't know if you see that comment over there. For him, I'll just read it out while you're looking for it. The card's insurance are valuable. I made a claim twice, and each time the airline loyalty made it right in less time. The policy since value, but the time component chews into its intrinsic value. So I gotta get on board with that. If you use the insurances, it definitely gets some value up there.
Sleepy Rod hit us with a 2-piece, baby.
Thank you for that, Sleepy Rod. By the way, sorry to delay that. It was a little while ago, but we had a pretty good conversation going. I didn't want to ruin the flow, but this is a good transition actually to this new Summit card that came out.
What do you think?
Well, so that actually it feeds into what I was saying before about my credit card portfolio overall. And I'll explain this in a video just kind of to make it more point by point. But I think Alaska is going to be my secondary airline moving forward over Southwest. If Alaska flew my primary work route, I'd make Alaska my primary, but unfortunately they don't. So that's how it happens. So because I'm putting Alaska kind of at a higher tier, I actually think it's a really great card for those of you who would like to fly Alaska and also who value the points of Alaska cards. The Atmos points. If you value those points, then I think it's definitely something that's worthwhile getting. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting that car at some point soon after I go through this whole house buying process. But yeah, I think it's a great card, but only if you fly Southwest or you want to use those points for Alaska, if you fly Alaska. And if you can use those points for Alaska's like partners, for example, Starlux. Like I would love to use Alaska points for Starlux or American Airlines or the other partners they have. That's definitely something to consider too.
Let me remind you guys of something nobody talks about, though. Everybody is on this huge bandwagon about flying American Airlines with Alaska miles. And I will tell you right now that besides that, was it a $12 booking fee, which doesn't sound like a lot until you're booking, 7 people or 10 people on a round trip. And I want to tell you that Alaska will show you a ton of phantom award availability. Meaning you'll go on there with your 500,000 Alaska points and go like this and find all these great flights that don't exist. And it's frustrating. It's super frustrating. So
Jeez.
I'm a huge fan of Alaska, at most miles or points, and I'm a huge fan of American Airlines, but I've been really frustrated trying to use my Alaska miles. Now, don't get me wrong, 45,000 Alaska miles from Columbus to Madrid or Columbus to Dublin, Ireland. It's primo. That's awesome. And that's in business class. So it's tough to, guys, we have 234 people in the chat. Slap the like button, please.
That is amazing. Thank you all so much for coming here and supporting Uncle Luke and myself. And, we have a whole nother half of this live stream to go. So we got a lot going on. Also want to shout out Vincent Pasquale, my man, for dropping $2 super chat or super spot or whatever you want to call it.
Mr. Vincent Pasquale.
You just wanted to be nice without even a question. But if you had a question, let us know. Kevin P dropping us another 2 spot as well. That is amazing.
This is an interesting question. What now you fly out of Ontario, right? Is it
I do.
Is that John Wayne?
No, John Wayne's in Orange County. So Ontario is like the Inland Empire. So it's a little more east in that same area though, like same general area.
They still have American Airlines flights though, right?
They do. Yep.
Okay. So this could be an option for you.
Yeah. Well, American Airlines is great from Ontario because they go to Dallas and they go to Charlotte. And so those are good jumping off points as they're like hubs to go somewhere else. Well, I would say for my take on that, it's definitely a welcome change. I think it's something that we've all wanted for a long time. I agree with the predominant gestalt about what's going on with the Citi Startup Elite card, of how it's kind of a letdown. I think the Premier is a great earner, the Strata Premier. I think that card just is the better way to go at that price point. Is the 6X on the Friday nights and Saturday nights cool? Yeah. I will say this though. So I used to spend a lot of money on restaurants, and I'm not sure what your restaurant budget is, or Luke or anyone else out there, but my restaurant budget was pretty high before I started taking fitness and eating right more seriously. So before like my hiatus, I was eating a lot of restaurants. And when I started eating right and healthy and going to the grocery store more, my restaurant use just plummeted like at least 80%. I stopped spending so much less money in restaurants, and the incremental change in grocery, and that for myself, my wife, it's just 2 of us. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal. I spent more on groceries, but not that much more. So you have to be like really using a lot of restaurant purchases to make that Citi Strata Elite 6X worth it. Same idea with the Amex Gold Card. You got to really be banging out that grocery and restaurant spend on the Gold Card to make it worth it, in my opinion. But I think that, to make a long story short, I think it's a great move. I think that if you want to use that, you want to get the best cards that give you the best earnings. And that would be like the traditional Citi trifecta of like the double cash, custom cash, and also the Citi Strata Premier to unlock those transfer points at the 1-to-1 ratio. Obviously, get the Strata Elite if you want to get that welcome offer, get a big boost of points. But I think after year 1, it's more of a hard sell.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm a big fan of American Airlines program. I don't like their planes, so to speak, but they have good routes for me. So I find myself using American probably more than any other airline right now. But the Citi Strata Elite, man, I think I have a hard time getting behind that one. And I'm coming from an angle where we really kind of eat out from 6 p.m. Friday to we eat out on Fridays and Saturday nights. So it would be pretty consistent, but that's not going to move the needle a whole lot. It's just not. And there's not anything else on that card and it doesn't earning those miles in that way. It doesn't help you towards elite status with American, which is another game unto itself. It's fun to play that American Airlines kind of game. So I'm with you. The traditional Citi trifecta and as many custom caches as you can get. And I think you can do everything with Citi.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to summarize it. It also leads into kind of my mindset of how even if you maybe team travel, but really the way to get the most amount of points, this is no like surprise to anybody, is really with welcome offers. Like unless you're banging out like a lot of spend per month on a card with like a 3X or 5X multiplier or whatever, like you're not really going to get a lot of points out of your spending. So that's why I kind of have been moving towards that cashback setup, because I can get 5% or 4% or higher, like cash back on those expenses, and just get that little cash back every month, as opposed to trying to get a lot of points from my spending when I know it's, in the grand scheme of things, not going to really move the needle that much. Clearly not as much as getting a welcome offer. And so I actually would, with the Citi cards, even consider maybe even use those points for cash back if it could be transferred to a 1-to-1 ratio. If you want to go that route, or if you think that having a cashback 5% setup is better, that may be a better way to go to even get you more value, because you can still use cash to buy plane tickets. You don't forget that, but I know you don't. You say it on your channel all the time, but you can use cash to buy plane tickets. It's okay. And the cash back from 5% cards, if you can maximize that, that's less work for you. So that's just another side conversation.
I think we're both going to agree that this shitty Strata Elite is a little bit of a letdown. Here's a good question. Leslie booked American Airlines one-way business from Atlanta to Lima for 52,000 miles. I think it's a good value. I did this from Columbus to Lima for, I want to say, about the same. And I think it's a good enough value. And I think flying first class, which as far as I know, you're not going to get the really cool first class experience or business class experience. It's going to be more like a 737 or something like
bucket
that.
Seat version.
Yeah, it's not going to be a lie flat or anything, but I think you're really going to like Peru or Lima, Peru. It's such an underrated city. It's super, super cool. So
yeah,
I'm glad to see somebody else go in there.
I'm not as familiar with the level of American Airlines miles, but I would also see like what the cash price was too, because it will vary, right? And so that's going to help determine what happens too. Because if it's not that expensive with money, maybe money is better. I don't know.
I think it also matters if it's an overnight flight. If that's an overnight flight, no. No.
Well, on the plus side, it just costs you miles, not money, and that's what's important.
Yeah,
I know people ream on cent per point and like, oh, it's a currency, but you didn't spend any money on it. Hopefully, as much so.
Matt booked the Rome Cavalieri at Waldorf. Yeah, it's a Waldorf 5 nights using 3 free nights and 210,000 points. It is a beautiful property. I stayed there over the summer. Here's where you're gonna, it's a beautiful pool. It's a beautiful property. Great food. Where it's going to fall short for some people is its location is nowhere near anything. So you have to take a shuttle to like a generic point in town and then take taxis or something else somewhere else. And it's going to take forever to get there. It is a beautiful property for sure. A couple other nitpicky things I had. I didn't really like the way they we won't get into that. They gave me an upgrade, but then they charged me for it. So with diamond status, and I think that's not really cool. But beautiful property. You're going to love it. Actually, I met a subscriber there when I was there.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, but Rome is Rome. You're going to love that. And nice, man. That's a great redemption. Working on business class Air France to Rome with a connection to Paris for $50K per. With a 20% train. I like that. That's on the way back using Virgin. So you're flying from Rome to, are you connecting in London? Or are you doing ITA Airways? That's interesting. We did ITA Airways on the way there. And somehow got things switched up and I flew United from Naples back to Newark. And I'm going to say this, like, I like to try the foreign airlines. I love the foreign airlines just because if I'm flying to Spain, I want to do Iberia. If I'm flying to France, I want to do Air France because it's part of the experience. I'll give United 2 thumbs up. United, Polaris, I'll fly at any time. We had a great time. So
that's awesome.
Good luck. Yeah. Hopefully I can keep it. Yeah, you're gonna love it. It really is the pool's really nice. Here's the funny Stan. Listen to this. This pool, there is no shallow end.
Huh?
There is no. It's a beautiful property. It's got a
Uh-huh.
huge campus with like stone lions and all that jazz and all this stuff, and it really is um, next level wealthy people there. So it's that kind of crowd, like
Mm.
pretty higher level. But there's no shallow end in the pool. Like I
Oh.
couldn't stand up in any part of the pool.
That is kind of,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
weird.
know. It is a little weird. Yeah, I would like that too. But I've never been to Rome myself, so I can't answer these Rome questions. But maybe one day I'll stay at that beautiful Waldorf Astoria.
It is beautiful. It's really cool. I would not stay there again. So if you're familiar, the way I rate my hotels is really simple. Will I go back there? If I were to go to Rome tomorrow, I wouldn't look at the Rome Cavalieri.
Hmm.
I would look at something right in the heart of things. So I said, Ita business sold out. I don't know if I'd fly
Oh,
Ita again. So
yeah. Well, I'm with you, Luke, about that whole foreign airline thing. Like when I fly internationally, which is almost never, I make it a point to fly an international airline because I do enough United AA Southwest stuff here, and so like I don't need to really worry about that overseas. So
mhm,
I try my best to really get an international experience because they are technically better
sure.
in terms of like service and that sort of thing. But I'm glad you got to experience Polaris because I've heard good things about that as well. So
I've
there's that.
never been a United fan, and it just so happens um, we moved around a little bit in Italy, and we ended up in Naples. And I wanted a direct flight home just because you got player two and a child. You want to make things convenient and nice. United was the easiest way to do it, and they paid off. They were good. I wouldn't. They were really nice.
Nice. All right. I think we had some questions on the community post too. Is that right, Luke?
Yes, yes. Let me. I'm
Maybe a
gonna.
good time to do that.
I'm gonna check these out. We had 2 or 3 different community posts, so if I don't get your question, it's just because we had them kind of all over the place. But I think there's some really good questions
Yeah, I
here.
think we answered some of them already, so that'll help out a little bit.
Tony Stew had a question. What do you think about the rumors of the Marriott business cards or
Yes.
the Marriott cards in general? Right? I mean,
Yeah, I think what he's referring to is that Doctor of Credit post where they polled some people about a new Marriott business card plus like a Bonvoy Bevy business and a Bonvoy Brilliant business. The main thing that stuck out to me personally was how the standard Marriott Bonvoy business lost its free net certificate for 35K. Um, yeah, I think from my personal standpoint, again, it's an FNC play for Marriott. So if you want to spend that extra money to get that anniversary FNC, then I would say go for it. My kind of limit is like 2. Right now, I have like 3. I have the Bonvoy Brilliant, the Chase Woods Carlton, and the Bonvoy Business. If the business lost the FNC, I probably would cancel the business. The only reason why you would keep that is if you wanted that 10% um,
mhm,
fee rebate on the room, which it's just helpful. The way I think about that is if you go on Marriott and purchase a room and you prepay that room, that'll be the same price with the 10% discount if you bought like a flex room where you could cancel within 7 days. So personally, I like to do the 7-day cancellation because
yeah,
I'm not really like sure some of the time. So I want to make sure I have the flexibility to get a refund. So that's helpful for that reason. But otherwise, you also want to consider that card, the business card, for those elite night credits.
yeah.
And so that will also play a certain play too when you look at the personal cards and the business cards within Marriott. I believe the Bonvoy Brilliant business also had 25 credits too. So if those stack, that leads to some interesting combinations for platinum status or going to titanium status and even less time than you would with the Bonvoy business and the Bonvoy Brilliant currently. So that's
Would you
something to
ever,
think about as well.
would you ever
What's that?
recommend using those cards to spend?
No, never. No, they're
Okay.
not spending cards. They're cards to generate anniversary friend certificates, at least in the way they are now. Because the highest you'll get is 6x on a Marriott stay, which is kind of not, in my opinion, that great. And then you have some other stuff in the middle that doesn't matter, and you have a 2x for everything else. So you can clearly get a lot better value on your points by using other cards, in my opinion, especially the Hilton cards. Those are like great earners
They
for
had
even.
some kooky things going on with the Bonvoy Brilliant as well, right?
I'm not sure if it was a Bonvoy Brilliant or the Brilliant business, the proposed Brilliant business. If I missed that, I'm sorry. I don't remember that, but I know it was all the Marriott business cards. They were offering like new business cards and what you would think about those things. You could also
I
translate those
see.
changes to Brilliant to personal if you would want to, because they last updated that card maybe a couple years ago. So it's within the realm of possibility of them changing it. But I think the actual post was specifically about the business cards, business side of things on Marriott.
Yeah. So okay. Here's a pretty good. This is a long question. I don't think we're going to be able to. This would be an entire episode, I think. But Faves A wants to know your opinion on the Wells Fargo trifecta, and they're talking about the both autograph cards, the autograph and the Journey and the Active Cash. He says it has a low cost hybrid option for both cashback and domestic travel. And do you think Wells is going to add any transfer partners anytime soon?
We'll end the second part first. And I think they will. I don't know if they'll do it soon. I'm not really that optimistic about that because it's been a while now and they've kind of been crickets. So I'm not thinking that anytime soon. But they will eventually have to. I don't think they're just going to stop where they are now. In terms of the trifecta, I never really understood doing the Journey and the autograph at the same time. They overlap a great deal. The Journey does have that benefit of having that 5x multiplier, I believe, on hotels, and I think it's 4x on flights. So you get a better return on those specific things. So if you're a hotel free agent, that's helpful. If you,
I think it gives you the 3x on generic travel as well as, so it complements a little bit.
Well, I think the autograph does generic travel too,
Yeah.
and transit. But
right.
the autograph Journey, sorry,
and that complements the hotel and airfare for the other one.
Yeah, but you have the $95 annual fee on the other one too. So you pay for that ability to get 5x and 4x on flights. So it's double counting a little bit. I would just say unless you love choice and you want to do choice hotels for your transfer or whatever, I would just stick with the Wells Fargo autograph and Active Cash. The Journey does have some unique things that you can do with it if you're a hotel free agent, or you can really maximize the use of whatever that car offers otherwise. But I wouldn't do all three of them at the same time. That's just my opinion.
I would go. I would push back against that a little bit. I think with the Journey, and I was never interested in the Journey, but I think if you were to get the Journey, you can really easily get the $50 hotel credit. One night of booking. So let's say for $45, you're going to take your 3x and transit and travel from the autograph. You're going to add to that 5x on hotels, 4x on airfare. I like it. I think you could, and I've said it before. If you gave me Wells Fargo cards, I could do anything anybody's doing in this game. I mean, as far as the transfer partners are limiting, so you might be looking at some cash stays in hotels when you're not doing choice. But I say it all the time, man. Do not sleep on choice hotels. Europe has great choice hotels. South America has big time. Matter of fact, I'm going to Minnesota in just a few days, and me and Carlos are staying at a Radisson that's right next to their really cool football stadium. So Choice
sounds amazing.
Yeah, Choice has some really good redemptions.
Nice.
Would I recommend someone going all Wells and killing it? Probably not, but I think it's possible. I'm more positive on Wells Fargo than most people.
I think it also matters of how much do you spend on hotels and airlines, like those elevated multipliers. Like you have to spend a lot to make up that extra $45. It's like not out of the it's not hard to do necessarily, but you still have to in the back of your mind figure out, are you actually getting that $45 back or not? And I know it's more minutia, but I'd rather just have a no annual fee setup that does pretty well. And then just if I want to focus on hotels and airlines on some other card, that would be my preference, especially because of the limiting transfer partners, as we talked about. It's just, I don't know. I try to make sure that all those annual fee cards that I have are being used to the best of their ability, at least over the $95 mark or whatever it has. And so if it works for you, it works for you. But again, I would err on just doing the autograph and the Active Cash.
30.
And so
sorry,
that's okay.
Carlos was wanting to know if there were questions for Carlos tonight. And we're giving him a break tonight.
Give a break tonight. Okay, no problem.
Well, here's an add-on question. Do you expect a premium travel card from Wells to really tie all those cards in?
Well, if they pulled what Citi pulled, it may not be a good idea. You know, they have to make it a truly premium card. They have to have the transfer partners to back it up. Otherwise, they're already dead in the water, in my opinion. You know, you can offer as much as you want.
So who are you looking for? I mean, here's the transfer partners are always very interesting to me because I've only used like 4,
Mm-hmm.
and they've always been enough. If you would have take out Avianca Life Miles and put in Air Canada's Aeroplan, I would tell you that you can't lose with Wells Fargo. They have everything you need. You'll never need anything else.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's their transfer partners are limiting. I just kind of stick with that same thing. If you're getting a premium travel card that comes with certain connotations, that you're going to get certain things. Now, again, if they work for you, that's great for you. But if they want to like get more people into their ecosystem and convert them from another bank like Citi, Capital One, Amex, or Chase, they gotta do better. They gotta do something. What makes that bank unique to the other banks that they're not already doing? Why would they want to switch to your bank? I think is a question they have to ask themselves. I'm sure they are. You know, it's just
$45 for probably the best earning trifecta out there.
Yeah, well, they have to have. Well, if you say a premium travel card, it's not going to be $95. It'll be more than that.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be equivalent to probably like the Capital One Venture X or that New Alaska Summit card. They'll have that level of.
Here's a question.
price.
Let's say you took a consulting job with Wells and you were helping them with this premium travel card. Which do you lean more towards? The CSR or something really simplified like the Venture X?
Oh, Venture X.
And if it's the Venture X, does that change your perspective on Wells?
No, I think so. I think it's a matter of trying to do too much too fast. With the Venture X, you can capture some more of. I think they have kind of similar audiences, if that makes sense, or similar people that they market to. That would be an easier sell. Then you go after someone like Chase. Chase is trying to like poach Amex and like vice versa, but they're in their own league of theirs, like by themselves, right? Then you have like the lower annual fee cards. Like Citi's in this weird like 500-ish middle range, and I don't know if they know what they're doing, but I'm sure they do. They're profitable, whatever. But I just a dude, whatever. But in my mind, I think that with Wells Fargo and Capital, it's a better fit in terms of. That would be a better premium card for them to release and that level of annual fee.
I think it would be attractive. I really do. With their cards now, a simple, really, I would be interested. I would definitely be interested.
Like if Wells Fargo released a card with a $1,000 annual fee, would you get it?
Oh no,
you already had without even knowing what it was. You already were like, no, right? There's a reason for that. I think everyone else in the chat was like, no. And why is that? Well, because of a lot of what we talked about already. Like the transfer partners aren't that good. Like who are they marketing to? Do they want that level of customer? Maybe they do, but again, it's all about image too. And so I think. Going the Capital One route would be, I think, better for them if in that hypothetical scenario.
Now, would that card excite you?
Oh yeah, I think it'd be very cool for us to talk about it. I think we're all waiting for something to like blow our minds, right? Like, oh, this is gonna like when the Smartly came out, it kind of blew everyone's mind, and then they nerfed it in 6 months, right? I want a card like that. That's what we all want, you know? But it's not going to happen in this day and age. Unfortunately, we're going towards this situation where we're not getting those kinds of cards anymore.
Can I tell you my story about Bank of America?
Sure, yeah.
I know you're a Bank of America guy, but I dabbled with them, and I don't ever want to see a Bank of America ever again. I wanted to get the Alaska Atmos business card, and they declined me. Mm-hmm. I'm way over 712, so it's understandable. But they sent me a letter saying the factor was my relationship with the bank. So I opened a business checking account with Bank of America. And I've opened probably 10 business checking accounts, and it usually takes about 5 minutes. And voila, I have a business checking account. Well, let me tell you how my Bank of America story. First off, they misspell Luke's points and miles. So now they can't find it on the state's registrar for LLCs. So what they tell me is they opened it up in the other name, but I don't have access to it. So I've already made a deposit, but I don't have access to the website. And they told me that they would send a letter giving me a temporary password. And I said, well, no, you misspelled the website. And she goes, well, what you have to do is you have to take your, what is the articles of incorporation or whatever your LLC paperwork, you have to take it to a physical branch and show them. And I go, I'm not doing that. She goes, well, what do you mean? I go, this is not 1985. I'm not walking into a bank with paperwork. I said, can I email it to you? No, it has to be at a branch. I go, okay, what are my other options? Because I told you I'm not doing that. How could I go to a Bank of America? I could, but I'm not going to. I'm too busy to do that. I really am. So she says, well, what you can do is you could wait for these fees to hit your account. And once your account goes down to zero, they'll close it for you. And I said, that's the worst option I've ever heard of in my life.
You know, I wish I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. That's what Bank of America would say.
Unreal. Yeah. So here's what I did. I go, well, I'm not doing any of those things. I go, can I talk to anybody else? She wouldn't let me talk to anybody else, which I get. If that's how it is, that's how it is. So what I had to do was I had to wait for a letter to come in the mail. They sent me a temporary password, so I had access to this little $100 or whatever it was. And I get there, and I'm not allowed to transfer money to another bank account. And I said, why would I have a checking account? So this is what I had to Zelle myself $100 to zero out the account and tell them that they don't have to close it, but it's at zero. And they can't find me in the negatives. So they'll end up closing it. So I don't ever want to deal with Bank of America. My goal was to one day try the preferred rewards deal and go heavy on the cash back. I don't want anything to do with Bank of America anymore. They're in the Barclays class for me.
Yep. That's a story that I haven't heard specifically, but a lot of people have the same frustrations as you with Bank of America. They're very archaic. Their website's very archaic. And they do kind of nonsense stuff like you were describing like that.
And I'm thinking it's 2025. I can have all this stuff done in like 30 seconds, but you want me to walk into a branch.
Yeah. I think Sleepy Rod had another super chat here that we should probably answer.
Okay, Sleepy Rod. Stan, you keeping your built card. It's built with cardless. Okay. Have you ever had a cardless card?
So it will be with cardless supposedly around February of next year. Actually, it's good that you brought this up, Sleepy Rod, because the built card, like I said before, I'm going more cash back, but built is the only ecosystem that I'm actually looking towards. I made a video about how I didn't really like the changes that were upcoming or possible, but now that I know that they are an Alaska transfer partner, I'm definitely going to consider them and see what their options are when they refresh their cards to their no annual fee, mid-tier or high-tier versions, because I would like to earn more Alaska. And I say Alaska, I mean Atmos miles. I just keep saying Alaska for history reasons. But they transfer to Atmos, and I really want to kind of pad my point total in that ecosystem. So yes, I do plan on keeping it after the cardless transition. I will be transferring every point in my account to Alaska to Atmos before the transition from Wells Fargo, because I don't want any mistakes to happen or problems. Just goodbye, and this is all that's going to go over there, and then we'll kind of reset new with cardless. Hopefully, they have different versions: no annual fee, mid tier, high tier. I may get the high tier card if it's convincing enough that I can use that card for spending. If their category spend is worthwhile at that high tier level with the 1x on mortgage, which I'll probably have by then, I would consider it.
Is there a fee? Oh, there's not a fee on that, or there's not going to be a fee
on that? Well, we don't know yet. That's the thing. We can't make a decision until they make the release. So we're waiting for the Amex Platinum refresh. We're waiting for the Built refresh. We're waiting for this Marriott Bonvoy potential refresh.
Wells Fargo premium card.
Wells Fargo, don't forget about that. Yeah. So there's so many things still waiting on the line that I can't make a yes or no decision, but I'm pretty sure that I'll keep the built card in some capacity just because they're the only transfer partner to Atmos, and that they've got that going for them. So good for them.
Okay. I had a cardless card with the Avianca Life Miles, and they have a really cool interface and a cool app, but I have no idea how you would ever get a hold of somebody for customer service.
Mm,
So there's that.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you could just get a hold of Built instead. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I did have a
See.
question. When you mentioned the Atmos card, the higher end premium Atmos card, everybody is foaming at the mouth on the 3X overseas. Are you in agreement with me that that is a bit overrated?
I would say it's overrated, but I think that it's still a cool, unique thing
The last
because
time you went overseas, what categories did you spend in?
like restaurants and like travel.
Dining at hotels?
Yeah.
Did you get more than 3X?
Uh, I
Or at least
don't think
3X?
I don't think so because I used US Bank Altitude Reserve, so I got 4.5%, but like that's kind of separate. Yeah, so I did get more than 3x in that situation, but now that US bar is gone, it becomes a little more of a level playing field.
But literally like 134 cards that have 3X on dining. Right of
Yeah, I know
150.
there's so many of them.
Yeah.
The I think the better question to ask me is how much did you actually spend when you're overseas, right? Because it really wasn't like a lot. It
Well, how
was
much did you spend on non-category stuff?
not much. I mean,
Buying it.
souvenirs, right?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like that crazy. I didn't like go
Did
to
you go to the
like
Rolex shop?
I did not go to the Rolex shop, so there's that part of it. But if I did, that card may have been helpful for that.
Might be, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's, and I don't live overseas. I think if you lived overseas or
Mhm.
you spent 6 months at a time, might be a big league card. But not a
Yeah.
lot of us do that.
Well, you're earning 3x Atmos miles or Atmos points or whatever.
Yeah.
And so those are worth more than 1 cent per point, supposedly. And so that increases the way that you can think about the value of those points as well. That's the whole reason why the 3x mobile wallet on US Bar was so good, because you knew for a fact you were getting 4.5% all the time. With the Statmos card, it's similar. You're getting 3x on all the foreign purchases. So if you really spent all your money in those foreign purchase category, and then you use those Atmos points for something that is really good, like more than 1.5 cent per point, you're still getting a really good deal out of that. But
Sure.
it's less of a, it's not as like ubiquitous to a lot of people. Like it has to be a certain select case.
Do you think the marketing overshadowed the reality on it though?
I
Because
think
how many Atmos points are you going to earn on dining with your Built card? The
probably not.
same?
Yeah, I mean, on the bill
3?
card. Well,
Yeah,
3,
is it
yeah,
3X on
sorry,
dining?
3, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that one's free.
Hmm.
I just mentioned that because a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, when I go overseas for 5 days, I'm gonna make." No, you're not gonna make a ton of points.
I think it's also a matter of it's new, right? It's a new type of category that
It's
we
a
don't
very
see
cool
very
card
often.
too.
So that's cool, right? And so like mobile wallet, that's a cool category that not many banks, except for US Bank, has really tried, for probably good reason if they wanted to like make money, probably not the best. But again, we're looking for categories that are new and exciting. And I know Wells Fargo Attune tried that. It's kind of still a weird card. They have weird categories. So I think the jury's still on it to figure out if that 3x F 3x foreign transaction card is gonna like stay or not, or if it's gonna get nerfed
And here's the
relatively
example.
soon.
Jamar says he's an expat, so 3X on everything is gold.
Hmm.
And here's my counter. I'm pretty sure I average more than 3X across my entire spending band.
Hmm.
So it's less
Well,
than
it
average.
depends. So if you're doing 5% cash back here in the States, you could make that argument.
5% cash back, 4X with the gold card,
Mhm.
3X on a lot of other stuff, 5X with thank you points with a custom cash. So I mean the list goes across the $100,000. I'm getting more than 3X.
Mhm.
So getting this card, I'm going to earn less.
Yeah, but
I'm not
then
saying
if
it's
you
not good. It is good, but
it's good.
it's not the game changer like everybody kind of thought it was. It's not
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, it depends on what you're gonna use those points for. With cashback, you're kind of sold on this is the cashback you're getting. With the gold card, like you mentioned, 4x, that is better, right? It has no forward transaction fees, even though it's Amex. And you can use those for transfer partners. Kind of like, with this one, it depends on what you're really redeeming those points for. That will really kind of tell you if you're better off with a 4x card or 5% cashback card.
And then with Hilton, what are you getting? 34X?
You get 34. Oh yeah, for the Spire. Oh yeah,
Yeah. So you don't want to use it for your hotels.
yeah.
No, but
I would
I
definitely
admit
do that.
it's a new card. It's a very good card, and I do love Alaska Miles. So
It's exciting. I think it's a cool category. I think we have to see what people use it for and go from there. There's going to be some kind of, I'm sure people are going to over abuse it somehow. There's there's always people out there that will figure
I
out a
think the
way.
way to abuse it is to somehow convert your everyday spend into a foreign transaction.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't know if you order from Temu or something. Does that count?
I do not use Timo.
Somebody's going to figure out how to.
I do not shop like a billionaire.
Somebody's going to figure out how to make their everyday
Yeah.
online shopping from a different country.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's Dio? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Is it pesos?
Dominican pesos.
Okay. Wow. Jamar like knocked our socks off. We're like we were Aunt Connie for a second here.
That's great. No, it's like a $4 super chat.
Okay, awesome, Jamar.
Thank you. We'll take that.
I have it. So he's got the Banco in Bursa, and I have it for it. Okay, I use it in the U.S. Nice, man. I am
Very
so
cool.
jealous of the people who have set their lives up to have that freedom to live in certain places for 6 months. It's something I should have really. I don't know if it was as attainable to do in the late 90s or the early 2000s, but I'm really jealous of you guys. That's awesome. You do that.
Yeah.
Chad's money. Would that work if I set a VPN up in France and ordered $1,000 in merchandise? Would it code as a foreign transaction fee?
Use the .fr website.
Yeah. Order something from
maybe
Spain. Or would that make things more complicated when it comes in here and I have to go pick it up at customs? I don't know. Would it be even worth doing all that?
Oh my goodness.
Speaking, has anyone received their summit card yet? It's even uglier in person. It's really plain looking.
It is plain looking.
Yeah. Weak and light. Okay. That's disappointing for us people that actually like that kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I like a good looking card.
I mean, I'm excited for that mirror Amex Platinum.
Oh yeah, come on.
I'll definitely have that until until next year. So I'll definitely get that design if
Absolutely.
I can. That is pretty cool. I'm not gonna shade on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Gunna's got a pretty good strategy here. The Strata Premier works long term. The Elite is great for the bonus.
Yep.
And you can move it to a custom cash. 100%.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a great.
It is a no-brainer first year for sure. And it might give you 10 American Airlines passes. It does have some, and it gives you $200 with American Airlines if you use it for that one program. It might work for you. It might, and I'm sure if you really want, if you are a diehard Citi person, that might be the card for you. That might, but that's tough. Capital One's a headache and product changes and any flexibility. Yeah, you almost have to, with Capital One, I think they consider everything an upgrade. So you have to look and see what upgrade is available for what card. That's why I say I know I could downgrade it. At least at times I've been able to. But I don't know if you're ever going to get it back. So, but I also think if you downgraded it, I think that space would go away and you would never need it back.
Yeah.
Okay. It will display in euros. Okay. Yeah. So that would be a way to get 3x Atmos points on online shopping.
Yep. Good either, Chad. Like that.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I have other better cards than any Wells Fargo cards. Yeah, now, let me give a little bit back. Is there a better card for a simple, frugal traveler than the Wells Fargo autograph? Because, and this is why I say this. Is there another card where you can earn 3x transferable currencies on multiple categories for no fee? And it comes with cell phone protection. So that one is really tough to pass up if you're a budget guy.
Yeah, I agree. Wells Fargo autograph is very strong. The green used to be the one that was better. And I think it's better only if you use clear like all the time, like myself. Otherwise, autograph I think is a better choice, provided that you are okay with like doing Wells Fargo Transfer Partners cashback versus MR points.
Yeah, let's say you just do Flying Blue for the majority of stuff. You're going to be fine there. But the autograph, 3x on cell phones and cell phone protection, 3x on gas, which Amex doesn't have on consumer cards.
No, just business. Just the business gold. Yeah.
It's tough to talk trash on the Wells Fargo autograph, man. It's just it's tough. And the Wells Fargo, I don't know what the active cash is. It's a Visa, but the Wells Fargo business signifies a MasterCard. And if you're in the know, MasterCards open up some other options when you get into the deeper layers of things. I like the Wells Fargo Duo. I do.
Nice.
I don't use it, so I can't really say I like it that much. Unpaid or Egyptian pounds with my platy. Okay. I'll take the Strata Premier over the Atmos cards every day. And see, the Strata Premier is a lot like that Wells Fargo card, but it has a fee.
But the Atmos cards do also. So
true. Yeah. I did say a few months ago that I would trade all my points and miles for Alaska and American miles at the time. Just because at the time they were a lot harder to earn. Blue Cash Preferred does not earn transferable points, though. It earns 3%. Well, not even cash back. It earns 3% statement credit.
Statement credit. Yes, that's
true. You get further away from transferable currencies. But
I'm always on the belief that statement credit is still the same as cash. I get it that it's not technically, but if you're still using the card, it is technically cash.
Sure. Yeah. It bothers me. I don't know why. It just does.
You and RJ, RJ hates that too. Yeah, he's not into that.
I don't have any other questions in the post that we didn't cover already. A lot of them were, we need Stan's opinion on the U.S. bar. We need Stan's opinion on. So did we cover? I know we touched on a lot of this, but you've been away when all these changes have happened, and we did cover some of this. But overall, you think we're in a really good space right now in the credit card game?
I mean, I released that video that a little while ago that talked about the credit card recession. I still stand by that. I still think that we are going in, like a couple of years ago, you had mentioned that we were in the golden age of credit cards, and I actually really resonated with that. I think that was true. There were so many options, so many good credit cards out there. There were things that we could improve, obviously, but I think there was a lot of good options. Now we're looking towards credit cards raising annual fees, raising the statement credits. Is becoming harder to get value. You get more value, but you got to put more work in. Just like you said, put the hard hat on. So really, it's the premium cards are becoming truly premium in the sense that you really have to work for that value. The annual fees are just so high now that it may just make more sense to stick with these mid-tier cards at the 95 to 150 level.
And even they're really powerful.
They're still because they haven't been changed, because by proxy, by looking and comparing them to the new premium cards, they look so much better by comparison, right? It's just one of those things where we have to start shifting our strategy to get better value. And I think a lot of that's going to really look at the mid-tier cards as the way to get the best overall value when you factor in both money and time. So the state is basically, you just got to figure out a new strategy that works for you. I think mid-tier cards are going to be the way to go, just like a lot of the other content creators have been saying recently. I agree with all that.
Here's a question for you. Is the big appeal with these premium travel cards, is it a fear of missing out? Because we can all agree that we sometimes come across as promoting these cards because of some of the ways we use them. And we also know that not everybody does that. We know that some people watch our videos and they say, I'm going to take the platinum for a ride. Are they just having a fear of missing out? Because we know that a lot of people are not going to use airport lounges. They're probably not going to use to its full effect the fine hotels and resorts. And when we talk about, hey, let's get a setup with $95 cards. Do you think people are like, yeah, but I can't stop looking at that shiny one. I can't stop. Like, this guy's talking about it. I can't stop looking at it. Do you think any of that's FOMO?
I think it certainly is. I mean, it's not the sweet and sexy thing to do. Just like if you look at personal finance in general, like investing in
Isn't it fun?
ETFs
Yeah.
and just like writing it for 30 years, no one likes talking about that because it's really boring. They want to jump on the GameStop or GameStop or the crypto and all the other stuff. They want to jump on the flashy new sexy things. And I think that's what premium credit cards are starting to become, or they have been that way for a while. It's just now it's like super apparent. Um, I like we said earlier in this live stream, getting a card for the welcome offer is still a good idea if you can meet that minimum spend requirement. That's where a lot of people fall into a trap, is that they hear the part where it's like, oh, there's a good welcome offer, I got to get this card. Also, I want to like try it out. But then they have no way to spend $6,000 in like 3 months or something, whatever the time is. And so you're still not winning in that situation either, right?
Well, I just dropped a video today about how to hit minimum spend. So when you get done with this one, go check it out.
Okay. Does it involve buying $700 of toilet paper?
No, yeah, I talked about that. Absolutely.
Okay,
not exactly, but yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite one.
You know that. Well, toilet paper, non-perishable items that you have to have anyway.
Right.
I don't see that as overspending, or I think prepaying for that. Here's the thing. How tragic would it be to run out of toilet paper? We're civilized, man. We're gentlemen. That's terrible. We don't want to do that. Yeah. So you need a whole basement full of toilet paper.
Yeah, I guess that's sure. If you have space for the toilet paper, then by all means.
You have two options: surplus your toilet paper or overspend on stuff you don't need.
Oh, you got a surplus in the toilet paper. You have to. I mean, there's no way out of that question, though. Because of course you're going to spend, because you will eventually use a toilet paper, like you said, but it may take you years and years and years, which is
not that much toilet paper. Not maybe 3, 6 months, 9 months, maybe. Not. Yeah, we don't have space for all that.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, I think that's included.
Does that mindset is that the same with what you think about the state of premium credit cards, Luke?
I can tell you that that's what it does for me, and I can tell you that I've had it in my strategy to cut back on annual fees, cut back on ecosystems, and do all this, and it's so difficult for me to give up the Capital One Venture X. And here's the thing: I think there's been years where I didn't use it. And I'm like, it is a great duo. It's a fantastic duo. But if you don't use it, why keep it? It does, in a sense, pay for itself, but there's work involved. And you still don't need it. Like breaking even is not winning. Mm-hmm. So I do. And with the Platinum card, I do walk past the Centurion and go, wouldn't mind stop. And then when I do stop there, I'm like, this place sucks. The last
you and everybody else.
Yeah, the last time we stopped in Charlotte from Grand Cayman, my wife and Carlos and my stepdaughter went to the Priority Pass Lounge, and I went to the Centurion Lounge because I'm the only one that can get in. I didn't feel bad about doing it, but it sucked. Mm-hmm. It was like, this sucks. It's crowded. It sucks. Everybody in line in front of me can't get in. They don't know it until they walk up and talk to the lady. Mm-hmm. So I don't value it the same as I used to. But I have a fear of letting it go.
Yeah.
Because I know it does bring some remarkable experiences.
I really think for you, it's just a matter of, again, like we talked about earlier in this live stream, you have to really gamble and hedge your bets, right? Mm-hmm. There's those one times where it really, really works out in your favor, and it really helps you out and really elevates your travel experience. But I know you can do that, Luke, with one of the 3 premium cards. You just have to figure out which one is good. Because I've watched a lot of your videos, right? You've had times when you went to the Venture X or the Capital One Lounge, you were like, this is like the best lounge. I love it.
I still think it's the best.
And so there are other times when I use Amex, like you talked about today in your story, like the customer service is like phenomenal. So those 3 can they're Capital One not, but the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which you I think canceled already, and the Platinum, mm-hmm. You can figure out for yourself which one of those 3 premium travel cards can you stick with.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out how do you want to hedge your bets from the benefits that you will lose.
But it hurts my feelings knowing that it doesn't really matter which one I pick.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Pick one and go all in.
But you can you could probably choose one if you really put your mind to it. I think you could pick one and like let it go, especially if you can like product change that card up and down, which we don't know obviously.
Right. Oh, we have
No.
some updates here.
We got some updates. Yeah.
Joe from Tampa hit us with a 10
All
piece.
right. Thank you so much, Joe.
Joe, you're awesome. And my man, Son.
Boy, Son
another
win.
10 piece.
Good to see you, my friend.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much. We both appreciate it. Absolutely. SoCal Skater, agree with Stan that use mid-tier cards. Now, and I love this idea. I love the just give me the points strategy, and that's all we need. But I still have to bring up that if you're just doing the $95 cards, you might not have those protections. You might not have the peace of mind. Even like you probably have some of the purchase protections, but there's things missing.
Yeah.
And like if I was a solo traveler, I would not give a hoot about travel protections. I would say, no, my protections is my points. Like if you cancel my flight, I'm jumping on another one, maybe to some other country. I don't care. But it's something I have, like you have that responsibility as a husband now. Whatever happens, you got to take care of it.
It's true. Yep. Well, there's ways around that. So, for example, I mean, you sort of know my credit card portfolio. Do you want to take a guess about which premium card is going to be my new premium card moving forward as it stands like today without any changes?
The Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah. I mean, it's very simple, right? Because
lounge access and the bonuses.
You get those travel protections also with the Chase Ritz-Carlton, right? And that card is still at a 450 level. They may change it, right? With the other ones,
for sure.
But they haven't changed it yet. So like that's going to be my card moving forward. If they change it to be higher, you may see me picking up the Capital Adventure X. I'm not sad about that. I think it's a great card because now the Platinum has become so expensive that I don't know if it can, for myself, justify it. I fly all the time, but I know in the way that I think about the benefits, I don't know if I want to drop $1,000 in annual fees just to like maybe use some of the benefits or even waste my time anymore with that. When I know I have the green card with that clear credit on it, I can just do that instead.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick one, I would pick the Venture X. But then it always comes with but. But Amex throws so many points at us every single year in a huge variety of different ways. It's very, very hard to leave them.
Yeah, no.
St. Patrick, St. Patrick,
$2.
St. Patrick is my anniversary. Hit us with a two spot, and he says the fear you have is sitting by Adam J's key. You're right, man. It's not a fear. I just listen, St. Patrick.
Not wrong.
Neither me or Stan, we don't deserve that. We don't live like that. We put in so much work and so much. We don't deserve to sit by Adam J's kids.
But the difference is, I'm willing to bet that I won't. Even with canceling these cards, where I don't think you're willing to like,
I'm willing to pay to ensure that I don't.
See, that's the thing where we differ on it.
Bluesy Submarine.
Oh, thank you so much.
If you're not familiar, the Bluesy Submarine is a Rolex watch. It's a gold and blue Rolex watch. It's really cool. So he gives a 2-spot. Thank you, sir, so much.
Thank
you.
Boy.
James Ragland from the first capital of Ohio. He's my hometown guy.
Awesome.
It's a great show. Lots of great info. James, I'm gonna be down by your place Monday. So.
Nice.
James is the man.
Yeah, it's always great to have two different perspectives on things, and you just kind of
100%.
It's just a great way for people to just get their gears turning in their own heads.
Yeah, and here's the thing: me and Stan could bring in 2 more guys with 2 more perspectives, and we still won't have this whole thing figured out. Because these credit card companies are so good at overlapping things and leaving parts missing. And if one ecosystem had everything we all wanted, we wouldn't have more than one.
That was US Bank, but
what was? Oh yeah.
For me, it was US Bank, and then they decided to cut that crap, and now I'm kind of figuring it out as I go, just like a lot of people are.
And US Bank still has the US Bank Cash Plus is a great card.
It's great. I think it's just a matter of there was a nice thing to have a one card for everything situation.
Sure.
That's hard to find these days at a higher than 2% level.
Civic. By the way, thank you so much, James. I also think you can rock the world with one premium card and a few mid-tier cards with their respective
Yeah, Civic is right.
zero annual
That's
fee.
what I've been saying this whole time is that if you
100%.
travel a little bit, get one premium card, just choose that ecosystem you want. The few mid tiers to kind of capitalize on some of those elevated multipliers. But if you want to just do like some 5% out there for the zero annual fee, like you can use that to support.
I think the
And
best
great.
example of that is Chase. If you can use a lot of credits on the CSR, you can complement that card with a lot of zero annual fee cards. And let's face it, me and you together, we don't talk about Chase as much as some of the other creators, but they're big hitters. Oh, James is on vacation. Enjoy your vacation, big guy. Go back to the grind. Amazing. Tuesday.
Amazing.
Do you have the BOFA Unlimited?
The B of A Unlimited. I do have one. It used to be the Premium Rewards Elite card. I product changed that sucker into a limited cashback card. I got my terms and conditions by email or sorry, by mail, and there isn't a listed foreign transaction fee on the card, which does happen when you product change from a Premium Rewards or Premium Rewards Elite to CCR or Unlimited Cash. But I'm going to go to Canada, I think, next month. And so I'm going to test that card out and make sure I don't have an FTF. If there's no FTFs, then this is going to be a phenomenal card. It's 2.625 at the platinum level, cash back, no FTF. That's like a great catch-all card to just use. Sure. So worth it.
Oh. Greatest Amex offer, spent $125 at Christian Dior.
Dior, I think is.
I don't do the fashion stuff. Makeup sense, get 4. No other issuer comes close to Amex. Now, here's the thing. Newigan's an Amex guy, and he always makes a great point for Amex. We can agree Amex is not perfect, but the points are valid. I think if you had an income that supported high annual fees, you didn't mind wearing the hard hat, going to work, I don't think you could do any better than Amex as far as sheer number of points.
Yeah, and these offers are really great too. Which reminds me, Luke, do you have in your mind your favorite Amex offer you ever redeemed? I know you do a lot of them, so maybe hard
don't.
to
like.
pick.
Yeah, no. Actually, I can think of a lot of them I missed.
Okay, there was one that I don't do Amex offers like a lot because I don't do a lot of retail shopping, but there was one that I did that I really enjoyed that I thought was great, but was never good. I never found one as good as that afterward. It was for Bulgari, the fashion show, whatever, the fashion designer. It was spend $750, get 10,000 MR points back.
Okay.
And I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
like I haven't seen
cologne.
Yeah, I mean, I bought my wife a purse, but like she loved the purse, by the way. So that was the one that I love. I haven't seen anything as good as that, and that's like really outside my comfort zone. Anyways, I never really buy luxury items, but like for that one offer, I was like, that's a really good offer. I'm gonna just capitalize on that.
I think with Amex, if you do wear your hard hat, you can find 1 or 2 a year that substantiate that really go towards that annual fee. Mm-hmm. Here's a Mr. Charles Bush. I met him at the Roman Waldorf Cavalieri. So it was really cool seeing another Points and Miles guys there. Beautiful place, like I said.
Always fun to see, fans and viewers and other content creators. So that's awesome.
And here's the thing, Stan. We went to Italy. We met Charles. I think our next trip was Grand Cayman. And we were on the Go Kiss the Stingrays excursion or whatever, and a subscriber was on our little boat with us.
Oh, that's so cool!
Like, I'm getting a good streak of meeting people in the community, and they've all been super cool, nice people.
That is awesome. We got another super chat going on here.
Oh, is it San?
San Win.
I don't say his last name because I can't remember if it's Gwyn, or
it's usually Win. It's usually Win, but you're right. It's different people, but I go with Win. Hopefully I'm saying that right, by the way. Otherwise, I'd be like just talking on my butt or something.
I'm okay with San.
Yes.
Still trying to climb the Hilton ladder.
Yes. I still have only the regular Hilton Honors card. I do want to get the Surpass because one problem that I kind of discussed earlier, because the platinum card is leaving, one thing that's problematic is I'm going to lose Hilton Gold status. And the only way to get that back is to get a surpass or a business. And so I have to sometime between now and I think my annual fee ends in May. Or if they cancel my card earlier than that, maybe even sooner, I have to get a surpass between now and then. It's been so hard because I'm still like looking for a house, and so I can't apply for cards, but I want to because of all these good welcome offers, and I want to climb the Hilton ladder. But once we kind of close on that house, then I can just start again. But yeah, my next bet is to get the surpass and the aspire, hopefully, and then that'll complete the whole thing.
Big Kurt just hit us with a 2-piece.
Oh, 2-spot. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh, Mr. St. Patrick.
St. Patrick, thank you so much.
5-spot, and he has a good point. The power of Amex is Rakuten, and no other ecosystem can touch that. He's getting over 200,000 MR points since Christmas. And here's the thing, guys, I think I have a link in the description. If you don't use Rakuten, sign up and you're getting $50 back on your first purchase, or you can opt to use Amex MR points. You can get 5,000 MR points back on your first purchase of at least $75. If you're not using Rakuten and you're an Amex guy, you need to start.
Yeah, it's very
even
good.
If you're like us, I don't do a ton of retail shopping, but it is amazing what Rakuten can do. I got turned down for the Rakuten card.
Oh my gosh. Well, Luke, you and your 56 hard pulls. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I keep telling myself I'm done for the rest of the year. So
yeah.
Calder might be in Minneapolis at the same time as me. Your subscribers. Yes. I love it, man. We're going to be there for the Bengals game. So if you're going to be there, let us know. We'll be there for a couple of days. We can meet up and have lunch or whatever. And
also, I just want to point out for everyone that we haven't responded to yet. There's just so many people in the chat saying hi to myself or Luke or have questions. So I'm sorry I couldn't get to everyone's question. And if you said hi to me, hi back. It's just so many different chats. It's just hard to keep up. But I appreciate all the viewership and all the love. And I'm glad you guys were here tonight to talk to myself and Luke, and we had a good time. And if you are just joining now, just there's a whole 2-hour replay to watch later. So thank you so much for that.
It's much easier to keep up with the chat when you're doing solo lives. When you start going on, it's much more difficult. But guys, we got about 2 more minutes and we're going to sign off here. But again, let me go back and thank you for anyone who did a super chat. Thank you for everybody that stopped by. I can speak for Stan. We really do like doing these. We like connecting with other credit card enthusiasts. I think it's something that we're small enough channels. We can connect to several people at the same time. And it's one of the reasons why we do this, man. It's actually a little bit easier just to make a video and release it and forget about it. Mm-hmm. The live is just more fun. It's more interaction.
Absolutely.
And you guys that do take the time to show up, you deserve stuff like this.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Civic. Appreciate that so much.
A lot of compliments, guys. I can't read them all, but I appreciate all the kind words because you wouldn't believe it, but I don't always get kind words. Civic, hit the like. Everybody hit the like button.
Today you will, Luke.
Today's a good day. I've been called a lot of bad words. All right, Kevin Nguyen, right? Does that sound or Gwyn?
Yeah. Yeah,
Kevin, I think Kevin Gwyn. The Kevin makes it sound like Gwyn to me. But anyway, for the Redstone Visa, does EV charging count for 5% gas? I do not believe so. But I have a question for you. Do you have an EV? Because I wanted a card that had EV charging, and guess what? I've had a Tesla for 2 months, and I've never, ever been to a supercharger. So I've never earned anything on EV. What I do recommend is the darn U.S. Bank Cash Plus for 5% cash back on utilities. So when your electric bill goes up $100 a month, you're making a little bit of that back. But I don't think so.
Awesome.
And I looked at a lot of cards, and they don't. The Amex Business Gold does not. So you have to really read the fine print on that gas. Some of them have jumped on the bandwagon. I think Citi does EV. Oh, a lot of guys late. Don't worry about it, guys. We have the fortune card is the best for you.
You're never late. You're never late. You can always catch the replay, so don't worry about that. A lot of good conversation tonight.
Kevin wants to know if you're in a hotel.
I am in a hotel. I'm traveling right now, hence not my usual space, but I'll be back shortly, so that'll be fine.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Just to say it again, myself and Stan, we both really appreciate. We had a lot of people in the chat and in the live tonight. Really appreciate it. Hit us up on our channels if there's something you want. I mean, because we're here for you guys. But Stan, you got anything to tell them?
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for inviting me onto your channel, Luke. I mean, I personally think that we should continue doing these dual lives every so often. I know right now I'm in a little bit of a sabbatical moment. One of the things I wanted to also talk about is that, I'm doing great. I've been exercising more. My physical and mental health have really improved since my last video. So I really want to get healthy for you guys so I can come back to YouTube and start doing videos like I used to. I highly recommend to any content creator out there, if you're feeling, burnt out or feeling like a little less like energized, just take some time off. It's done a lot of wonders for myself. And so personally, I think that we'll continue doing these lives. You may see me here and there every so often, but I do plan on releasing some videos hopefully soon, maybe the next couple months or so. And as soon as I feel up to it, I'll come back and start doing regular videos again, to compliment everyone else and all these wonderful content creators on credit cards. And there's so much to talk about, but right now I'm still on the sabbatical. So it's good to be back though, and to talk to all you guys directly in this live stream.
Awesome. And with that, guys, we're going to say goodnight to you until next week I have Rich with Points on the podcast. I'll send out a couple community posts. Get ready for that. He's a super cool dude. I'll see you next week.
All right. Exciting. Take care, guys. Till next time.